Hello and welcome to today's Sunday lecture. We have been enjoying the first few days of the 41-day Holy Season course, introducing the sacred sounds of creation. Every afternoon, every evening, for those of you in the Far East, every morning, we have been receiving one or two new seed sounds, sacred sounds, to enliven those reflective seeds each day. This is a process that will take us through to the end of the year, and it signals the arrival of the great wave of creation. Now, Tote spoke to Cindy about the great wave, and I have mentioned this to you. It's just a brief paragraph. Let me read it again, because the next few lectures are going to focus on the great wave. They are going to focus on the elements of the great wave, those that are of specific importance to you, and how you enliven those, and different techniques that Lantos and Master Teacher Tote have been introducing to us. So here is what Master Teacher Tote said. No trace of empty scattered is ever lost. No is reflection, enters from the east. Trace, inception, of education, empty, success, scattered, abundance, love, is, ever, health, lost, curse. Then he went on. He said, each aspect of the great wave is precious. Each is significant on the path of human development. This is the cycle of life. Reflection occurs first. Reflection of source onto its own nature as fullness generates the traces of empty. Inception follows. Traces of empty like droplets of the great wave. Education follows inception, success follows education, abundance follows success, love emerges out of abundance. Health follows love. As the droplet is very near re-entry into the wave, vision is obscured. The droplet loses awareness of its position within the great wave. It becomes surrounded by mist. Very deep, located in the belly of the wave, surrounded by fullness, yet believes oneself to be cut off from all. So that was Master Teacher Tote talking about the great wave that you see on the screen. Cindy spoke to Lantos about this, and she asked him, so each area of life is associated with the location on the great wave. And Lantos said, yes, this is the primordial verse of the great wave. No trace of empty scattered is ever lost. Represents the 8 values of expression, beginning with reflection of the source, entering into inception. A trace of empty located through the reflective process of fullness curling onto itself to locate the total value of its great nature. Location of the boundaries within the limitless value of the fullness. Form within the formless. Empty within fullness. This is inception, which results from the value of reflection. Then Cindy asked, so each word is associated with one of the values of love, abundance, and so on. And Lantos said, yes, reflection is associated with no. No. This is the awakening of the intent of fullness to discover non-fullness within itself. Fullness collapsing to locate the empty. Trace represents the arrival of fullness through the process of the curling wave onto the value of empty. Location of a boundary. A trace of empty located within fullness. This is the emergence of form. This is inception. Of is education, acquiring knowledge. After the collapse of fullness into the trace of empty, the process of the return to the state of fullness begins. This process is the path of creation, the path of existence. All aspects of the path. All require the light of knowledge. Illumination is required to regain fullness. When the room is darkened, the light must be introduced. Only light alters the state of darkness. Of indicates the movement of return to fullness, return to the source. Empty. This is the realization of the nature of the trace. It is a trace of empty. The introduction of knowledge offers this insight into the nature of the existence of the trace. The trace is seen in its value as empty. Through this realization, success. The first success on the path to fullness is marked by this realization of empty, the empty nature of the trace located through reflection. The process of reflection generates the great wave. Inception is the emergence of the traces of empty. Each of the values, education, success, abundance, love, health, and curse, originate within the great wave. It is a seed which develops into the many expressions of the tree. The seed value of success lies within the curl of the great wave. Yet, this seed value grows into the visible expressions of success on the physical, material layers. Primordial success is the seed of the expressions of success. Position, power, achievement. These emerge from the seed value. Each expressed value is an evolution of its primordial value, which is found within the great wave. Each quality can be located as a seed within the curling great wave. 81 seeds, 81 traces of empty. Abundance traces its roots back to the expression scattered. Within the primordial phrase, no trace of empty scattered is ever lost, scattered is connected with the quality of abundance. The seed spray is scattered. Abundance emerges. Enlivening this seed value generates the value on the outer layers of expression, abundance, prosperity. Love is connected with primordial expression is. There is nothing more basic, more fundamental in creation than love. Love is. To enhance the value of love in the outer layers, one enlivens the seed of love within the great wave. No trace of empty scattered is ever lost. Ever. Sustainability. Preservation of existence, health, longevity, balance to maintain. Lost. The veil which cloaks one from the light of grace, the light of knowledge. This seed is embedded deep within the curl of the wave, and though this position is fully engulfed by the presence of the wave, it believes itself to be alone, cut off from the radiance of the fullness of the wave. This is the final value of removal. It is the removal of the veil of ignorance, that which blinds the individual from the true nature of the source. In this case, enlivenment of this seed lifts the veil, removing that which is obscuring the radiance and fulfillment. Curse may present itself in the material form as addiction, depression, or an abundance of obstacles and challenges. Once lifted, the supreme glory of the source is revealed. Each individual may enliven these primordial seeds, which directly influence the material layers of expression. This is the value of this precious teaching. It is the teaching for all times. This is the precious format for the teaching of the seeds of creation for all individuals around the world. So let's review that just briefly. We have the basic primordial sentence. This is the primordial sentence of creation which Master Teacher Tote gave to Cindy. No trace of empty scattered is ever lost. So, reflection. This is the first value as the wave curls onto itself. It is associated with the word no. Lantos said it is the intent of fullness to discover non-fullness within itself. Inception comes next. This is from the traces of empty, the scattered sea spray. Lantos said, arrival of fullness through the process of the curling wave onto the value of empty, emergence of form, inception. So, our sentence, no trace of empty scattered is ever lost. No is reflection. Trace is inception. The next word, of. This is related to education. Acquiring knowledge. Illumination required to regain fullness. Lantos said, only light alters the state of darkness. It is a return to the source. So this one, well, let's go through all of these and then refer to it again. Success is empty, associated with empty. The seed value of success lies within the curl of the great wave, the empty. Lantos explained position, power, achievement. These emerge from the seed value. Abundance was next, Lantos said. He said it is related to scattered, the word scattered. So no trace of empty scattered is ever lost. Abundance is scattered. The sea spray is scattered. Abundance emerges. Enlivening this seed value generates the value on the outer layers of expression. Abundance, prosperity. Next word, love, is. There is nothing more basic, more fundamental in creation than love. Love is. To enhance the value of love in the outer layers, one enlivens the seed of love within the great wave. Next one is health. And the associated word of the primordial phrase is ever. Health, ever. Sustainability, preservation of existence. Health, longevity, balance to maintain. Curse, lost. The final word, the veil which cloaks one from the light of grace. The seed is embedded deep within the curl of the wave, and though this position is fully engulfed by the presence of the wave, it believes itself to be alone, cut off from the radiance of the fullness of the wave. Enlivenment of this seed lifts the veil. And then Lantos explained curse may present itself in material form as addiction, depression, or an abundance of obstacles and challenges. So these 8 words, no trace of empty scattered is ever lost, the primordial phrase of creation. Each word has its own position within the great wave of creation. Each is associated with one of 8 values that will be the most important values to your life. Now, in the past, we have spoken at great length about the importance of inception, because of these, it's very easy to understand some of them. It's very easy to understand, for example, education, although it's also easy to misunderstand education, thinking that that would only be relevant to children or people in college or, graduate school, people who are whose endeavors at this point in time happen to be education. That is not the correct interpretation of this word education. Education is the light that leads you back to the source. What Lantos had said was only light alters the state of darkness. It is illumination required to regain fullness. So education, with that understanding, is very easy for us to understand what it means. It gives you the light to return back to the source. So if you're on a dark path, education, that's the flashlight. Success, that's easy. Lantos gave some examples. He spoke about position, power, achievement. Now, power is not power over others. Remember, that is power over yourself, power over your own existence, power over your own path in life, power over your own living. So that is success. Position, power, achievement. That's easy to understand as well. Abundance, that's easy. That's abundance, prosperity. Love is easy to understand. It is simply love. All aspects of love. That can be love for oneself, self-love. It can be love for others, friends, professional relationships. It can be, of course, an actual love, romantic relationship as well. All aspects of love are emboldened, are created, are strengthened through the enlivenment of the love seed. Health, everything regarding health. So what Lantos said, preservation of existence, longevity, sustainability, balance to maintain. That's simply health. So easy to understand health. And then curse. Many of us, growing up thinking of a specific type of curse, this is the broadest concept of curse. This is a veil of ignorance. This is darkness shielding you from the light of grace, from the light of knowledge. And because of that, many things can develop in the course of one's life. Master Teacher Todt, I spoke what he said last week, and he was talking about physical disabilities as one of the things that results from this. But Lantos spoke more today, talking about addiction, depression, an abundance of obstacles and challenges. When we think about this, well, we think there are an awful lot of people who suffer from depression. There are an awful lot of people who suffer from addiction. And nearly all of us at different points in time feel an abundance of obstacles and challenges. So this aspect of life, the aspects of life that tend to bring misery in so many regards, this is covered by curse. This seed is what will lift the veil of ignorance. This seed is what will remove all of those aspects: addiction, depression, physical deformities, abundance of obstacles and challenges. Which takes us back to the first two, because those are the two that are harder to understand: inception and reflection. They are two that focus on the same thing. And remember, I read to you a message months ago talking about the importance of enlivening your inception seed, because the inception seed covers all areas of life. And Lantos gave a very specific analogy. If you take out a very large loan from the bank, a very large bank loan, sooner or later you have to pay it off. And so then you find yourself in a situation where all day, every day, you're working as hard as you can just to be able to pay off the bank loan. And if you have a way to eliminate the bank loan, then you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You're able to enjoy what you do every day. The work that you every day, you're able to take that money and buy new things, have a more fruitful life. That aspect of eliminating the burdens of the past which bind you today, that is inception. And it occurs on every aspect of life. So Lantos made it clear. Inception relates to all areas of life. Reflection is the reflective value of inception, and both of those are the two poles that guide one through life. They're the poles around which one's life revolves. So those are the 8 terms, the 8 aspects of life associated with the primordial phrase of creation. No trace of empty scattered is ever lost. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that to take advantage of this knowledge, you have to learn your 8 seeds. 1 seed for each of these areas of life. 1 seed for each word in this primordial phrase. No trace of empty scattered is ever lost. In order to get these seeds, because it's a complicated process, and there is a code that is used for each of them. Many of you already know your inception and reflection seed. Some of you don't. Many people who are going to be new to this knowledge in the coming weeks and months will not yet know their inception and reflection seeds. But many of you already do. That means that you still have the other ones to find out. Now, even with the inception and reflection seed, you have to receive a specific training session. We have teachers who we have spent the last couple of months getting prepared to teach, to train them so that they will be in a position to be able to train each of you, to initiate you in your special sacred sounds. These are what Lantos calls your personal sacred sounds. They have to be given to you in a specific format in the course of a special teaching session from someone. They're given in groups of 2. The reflective seed of each of the primary seeds. So reflection and inception, those 2 go together in a group of 2 with their own teaching. Education and success, that is another pair. Abundance and love, that is another pair. Health and curse, that is the final pair. So 4 pairs, 4 different sessions of teaching to receive these fundamental, these personal sacred sounds. In order to set up, now this is something that we've had to train all the teachers extensively on. Every aspect of your path to receiving this knowledge is important in receiving this knowledge. So when you decide that you want to receive this knowledge is of importance to us. We keep track of that because that's part of the equation for the personal sacred sounds. What you will do is you will contact us. You can email us, you can call us, you can leave a voicemail, call us, speak to us, whatever it is, and you can tell us that you want a few different options. One is that you receive the training on all 4 sets, all 8 personal sacred sounds. That is a complete set of the personal sacred sounds. Or you can receive the training on a single pair, and you can select any single pair, or you can have 2 pairs or 3 pairs that you receive training on. Now, there's a cost associated with this because the teachers have to go through quite a bit of work to prepare for the teaching session, and then they go through the teaching session with you. So they will get paid for this. The price of getting the personal sacred sounds for a single pair, so 2 of these personal sacred sounds, the price is $100. There are 4 pairs, so that's $400. However, if you get the full set, it will be only $300. So $300 gets you the complete set of the personal sacred sounds. If you're not sure you want the complete set, you can just order 1 pair. If you say, what I really want, that love and abundance sounds great to me. Or you may say that health and curse sounds great to me. Or you may get a complete set for yourself, but then you know someone else who isn't going to use the complete set, but you know they need the curse seed, or you know they need the health seed. So then you're going to get the health and curse for them, for example. Something along those lines. You can choose any of those. Contact us. Call us. We will refer you to one of the teachers at that time so that you can coordinate with them to receive your training, to receive your personal instruction of the sacred sounds. Now, there's something else to go along with this. And this I'm just going to introduce briefly right now, and then we're going to talk more about it on Wednesday. Because Master Teacher Tote introduced a new pendant when he spoke to Cindy about this. He called it the Inception Toe Pendant, the Sacred Toe Pendant. So there is a pendant that associates with each of these areas of life: inception, reflection, education, success, love, abundance, health, and curse. 8 pendants for the 8 different areas. And you don't have to get all 8 pendants. You don't have to get any of them. But each pendant, the easiest way to think about the pendants is like your moon seeds. The moon seeds that enliven your inception and reflection seeds throughout the nighttime as you sleep. These pendants, through the same method, enliven these basic seeds for you throughout the day. If you're wearing the love pendant, it will strengthen this aspect on the outer material layers of life, all aspects of love, every day as you wear that pendant. If you have a close friend who suffers from addiction, who suffers from drug addiction, alcoholism, gambling addiction, any addiction, then you give them the curse pendant, and that will help to lift the veil of ignorance. It will help to release the binding influence of negativity on that individual. So this is the concept of the pendants. Just so that you know the pendants ahead of time, before we talk at length about them on Wednesday, they're $95. Lantos wanted these to be made accessible to everyone, so they're significantly less than the pendant of eternal light or any of the other pendants that we've done. So these are $95 a piece, and they can be bought individually as opposed to as a set. So you can get just the curse pendant for $95, but it will have to come along with, you do have to have the personal instruction of the sacred sounds. And that is $100 for a single pair for 2 personal sacred sounds, or $300 for the entire set of personal sacred sounds. And if you get the entire set of personal sacred sounds, then you receive the Inception pendant, the Inception toe pendant, for free along with that. Okay, this has been a long lecture. I appreciate your staying with me for it. It introduced something very important, the great wave and the primordial phrase of creation, no trace of empty scattered is ever lost, and what it means in your life, those 8 areas of your life that are developed within the great wave of creation, that are strengthened by enlivening your personal sacred sounds within that great wave of creation. Okay, during this holy season, we are truly blessed to have the great wave of creation coming to earth, and we are even more blessed to have the responsibility of assisting in its arrival and strengthening it through these 6 weeks of the holy season by every day participating in the introduction of these sacred sounds of creation. So I thank you every day for taking that 8-9 minute period of time to listen to Cindy live, online, read to you the wording that Lantos has given her, that Master Teacher Todt has developed, and to introduce the sacred sounds of creation. So thank you very much for all that you do for that. Okay, everyone, I'll be with you every day as we hear the introduction of the sacred sounds of creation, and I'll speak with you again on Wednesday, and we'll talk more about this. Have a great week.